So it's that time of year again where the new iPhone is just around the corner. The iPhone 15 is coming, and I'm sure at this point you've heard that it's coming with USB-C. So I thought this is a perfect time to discuss why a USB-C iPhone has taken so long. I want to talk about from a consumer's point of view, but then also from Apple's point of view as to why they've taken so long to bring us USB-C. So this whole USB-C iPhone stemmed from UK's regulations of having devices only use USB-C because they don't want all this like cable waste to be happening. So that's like the basic form of it. And so Apple's responded by, okay, we'll put USB-C into the iPhone. Now, one of the things that people have always wondered is that, well, the iPads have had USB-C for so long now, so how come the iPhone doesn't yet have USB-C? Well, see, with the iPads, we had this whole new form of a device. We had a tablet that eventually people were like, you know what, this is a new form. We can use touch inputs to use this, and we want to do more with this. There are people that literally prefer to just have a touch-based system instead of something traditional like your laptop or computer. And so people wanted more and more out of iPads. And so eventually USB-C came there because people were able to add external hard drives, do things like video editing. So all of these capabilities, and for Apple, the only reason they gave people USB-C was because they just wanted to give people the opportunity to use the iPad in more ways that they wanted to do so. People use the Pro iPads for illustrations, for video editings, and all sorts of heavy tasks. And for that, adding an external device to an iPad just makes sense. I myself have used an SSD while editing on an iPad. So it only made sense for Apple to make the move. But even then, they only gave that full capability to the Pro iPads. You have things like USB-C on something like the iPad mini, but over here it's not as capable. The speeds are limited. And this is so that if you really do want to get more out of an iPad, you've got to go to the Pro iPad. And so this was purely a business move for Apple. That's why the iPads got it. Now, what about the iPhones? Because they got left behind and they still had the traditional Lightning port. Well, imagine for a second you've created this ecosystem of products that all use this proprietary cable that only you can sell. And if anybody else does manufacture it, they have to have it certified from you and then pay you a royalty. So if a X, Y, and Z company goes out there and sells 1 million cables, well, you're still making money from that, even though it's not a cable that the consumer bought directly from you. So imagine you had created this system. Would you want to give that up and trade it for just switching to USB-C, which isn't a proprietary system? Isn't something that only you make and only your products can work with? That's why with the iPhone, you have never seen Apple push towards that. Instead, Apple pushed towards MagSafe. They introduced it with the iPhone 12s. And I all along was thinking that we're just going to have this jump and transition between going from the Lightning port to wireless charging. Look at what MagSafe has done to the iPhone. More and more people are using MagSafe accessories, MagSafe charging, whether that's the MagSafe puck, whether that's battery packs. People are preferring to do that. And because people are doing that, now they're getting more and more used to that, okay, we don't need this cable. And so that's a perfect transition for Apple to be like, you know what? Now is the perfect time to switch from this traditional Lightning port, go portless, and move everything over to MagSafe. Now, obviously, for that to happen, they have to bring MagSafe to a more capable system. Right now, the MagSafe battery pack that Apple makes themselves only charges at a max of 7.5 watts. Now, as great as that is, it's still not good enough. People want fast charging. People want to be able to do that wirelessly. So with time, I figured that MagSafe would eventually get so good to where you just have a portless iPhone and you don't have to worry about anything. But when the UK decided to just step in between and be like, look, if you want to sell an iPhone in the UK, you're going to have to make a USB-C, that just changed everything. And so now Apple has to comply. That's why this year we're seeing a USB-C iPhone. But I'm telling you, that's not going to stick around a long time. It's going to quickly transition over. Because, the iPhone doesn't really need USB-C. If you really think about it, like how many of you would want to attach an external hard drive to an iPhone? Or use it for any other purpose? Like in the iPads, it makes sense. Like I wish like this had faster USB-C speeds, but I'm like, okay, this is the iPad mini, so it's fine. I don't really need to do all that much with this. But on the iPhone, I personally haven't ever had the need. Now it would be nice because, when I'm in the car, I have my own car charger, and that's with USB-C, but then I also have a lightning cable in there just in case that anything happens and I need to charge a phone, or if I have a second person in the car, they're going to need the lightning cable. So it would be nice to just have one cable in the car or everywhere you go, because now you can just carry multiple USB-C cables and have it work with everything. Have your devices charge faster and everything's unified. Honestly, I never expected Apple to make this USB-C move. But obviously they're going to have to because they want to sell iPhones in the UK. Not being able to sell in the UK is worse than selling your own cable and sticking to that. Now I'm happy that I can just use one cable going forward. But you have to remember the lightning cable is not going to fade out that quick. Because plenty of people have older devices and lightning cables will continue to go bad and people will continue to buy them. It's just not going to fade away instantly. It's only going to be relevant for the people buying iPhone 15s. But if you don't have an iPhone 15, then you'll still be stuck in that whole situation of, okay, I have a lightning cable and then USB-C for my iPad or USB-C to charge my MacBook, whatever your individual case may be. You will still need multiple cables, which honestly sucks, but that's just the way it is. That's just how it's going to be, because when you, as a business, look at this thing overall, I have my own business, and if I was able to create this entire ecosystem of products that have to rely on a proprietary system in order for them to charge, it totally makes sense. But then again, I as a consumer also understand a consumer's point of view to just having one unified system for all your devices, because it just makes things simple. Right now in my backpack, I have to carry multiple cables. Going forward, I won't have to. Well, actually, I will have to, because I use the 13 mini, and so with the 13 mini, I will continue to use a lightning cable. And I don't really have a choice. Now, I want to know what you think about this entire situation. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are you happy this is happening? Do you not care? Whatever your stance is, put it down below in the comments, as I'd love to hear from you. I really hope you enjoyed my input on this whole USB-C dilemma with the iPhone. Thank you for your time. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.